Welcome to the Eisenstein Effect.
I'm your host, Vickie Eisenstein, and this is my guest,
Bill Chott.
You can find Bill in a new movie called Marshall's... What's the second word? Marshall's Miracle.
It's a miracle that we remembered it.
Yes! Together we did that. You can also see him in his previous work. You can see him in The Wizards of Waverly Place, which is also kind of hard. A lot of alliteration in your credits.
It is.
Yeah. I like it. It's good. It's mnemonic good. And also, what was the other one?
The Ringer.
The Ringer. Yeah. Is that about boxing?
No, actually, it's about Special Olympics.
Okay.
It's a Fairley Brothers film with Johnny Knoxville.
Cool.
And I play a Special Olympian. And there's a lot of
special... Special Olympian?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And also, you might have heard his voice on the Ambiguously Gay Duo. He's also done that. He does voice acting as well. He's just everywhere. He's everywhere and all the time. And
just like God.
Just like God. So, Bill, tell me, where are you from?
I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
All my family's from there. I grew up all over. We wound up moving around a lot. My dad used to write for corporate theater, for corporations. He'd write speeches for CEOs and slideshows and even like full-length musicals.
Really?
Based on a company's theme.
Did you go to school for like something artistic as well?
I got a degree in communications with a theater emphasis at Central Methodist College, which is now Central Methodist University. Yeah, I go back. Sometimes I do a play, or sometimes I'll teach an improv workshop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. To like be like, hey, I went here and now I'm leading your classes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you say it with exactly that intonation as well.
I try to act all high and mighty about it. So they know me there as just Bill. You know, people first meet me and they're like, Mr. Chott, can I get my picture taken with you? I'm like, let's settle down. Just call me Bill, and you know.
I'm just Bill.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, wait, are you originally Bill, or are you William shortened to Bill?
Well, William legally, and then Billy for about 6 or 7 years of my life, and then Bill.
Gotcha. You did things in Chicago for a while?
Yeah, I moved to Chicago, studied at Second City, performed at Comedy Sports and I.O.
Yeah.
And toured with Second City for about a year.
Okay.
With Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Rachel Dratch.
Really? With all of them?
Yeah, we had an amazing touring company. Also, Ali Faranakian, Kevin Dorff,
oh my God.
Rachel Hamilton, Francis Callier, Pat McCartney. I think that covers all the people that we toured with full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So, what was it like touring with? Did you kind of did you all know that you would go on to do more, or were you kind of?
I just know that we always had a fun time.
Yeah.
Our shows were some of the most fun shows I've ever been in, even to this day. And we kind of snuck in a lot of original material because we were supposed to be doing archival material.
Yeah.
So, a lot of us never made it to a main stage full time, but we went on to do a lot of other different things. You know, I think out of that whole group, Rachel did too. Rachel and Tina both went to main stage, but Amy skipped right ahead to do UCB and do her thing. I was touring and I was understudying main stage. I performed for a month in Pinata Full of Bees.
Oh, okay.
And then before I could get moved up, I wound up getting hired for the Dana Carvey Show.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I did that in New York with Steve Carell, Steve Colbert.
That's awesome.
Heather Morgan, and Louis C.K., Robert Smigel, those guys.
That's great. How is it that, did you have an agent at that point and they were like kind of throwing you out for things?
Well, I was signed in Chicago with Suzanne's A Plus for commercials, and I was kind of signed with them theatrically as well. But as you know, in Chicago, you can multi-sign with people. And a friend of mine saw me on the main stage and hadn't seen me in years, and he was producing on Broadway for Defending the Caveman. His name's Todd Grove.
Okay.
Who does a lot of national and international stuff out of New Orleans now.
Oh,
and he saw me and he introduced me to Mike August at William Morris.
Okay.
And so I think the fact that I was submitted via William Morris helped.
Yeah. It lends a certain credence to everything.
Yeah.
Also, are they involved in cigarettes? Why do I feel like that sounds like
That's
a cigarette
Philip
name?
Morris.
That's Philip Morris.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
But I'm sure, back in the Mad Men days, there were a lot of cigarettes going around the William Morris office.
Probably, yes. It was. I'm seeing it now, a little bit of bourbon and the smoking. Get that client in there. Okay.
Get that 3-picture deal.
Yeah. How did you like New York?
I love New York because I was there. At first I was like, what am I going to do? And then that was right around the time that UCB was starting up in New York. So I was playing with those guys.
Okay.
And then I was doing that. I was also doing comedy sports with the guys who were all doing the Bert Ferschners, which was a sketch show on Comedy Central too.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing long form, I was doing short form, I was doing all the things that I love to do. And I had a lot of time off. It was what I had always dreamed about.
That sounds amazing.
When I was like going through the training center at Second City, I was like, someday I'll be hired up to a main stage where I can perform at night and I can just read all day or go see movies or listen to music. And that's kind of what I had a chance to do in New York. So
awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. Getting to see some bands in the early days like the Flying Neutrinos and just watching friends in shows. And I had a lot of time off. I spent a lot of time in Central Park too.
Really?
Yes.
Feeding pigeons?
Poisoning them. No. That's a Tom Lehrer song. I spent a lot of time, I would read. There was a favorite tree that I had that had like the trunks kind of like formed a chair.
Yeah.
Or not the trunks, but the roots of the tree.
Yeah, the roots of it.
Formed
like
a chair
belly.
where I could just like settle myself in. And I would just hang out there. It was, I had also, the whole time I was in Chicago, I never had like a CD player.
Really?
So I went out and bought a portable CD player, and I was able to listen to music all on my own. So I just plug into that.
No longer just what's in your head.
Exactly. Oh, there were songs in my head.
I'm sure. Okay, so you were doing all that, and then did you go from there to LA then? Is that what happened?
Yes. I drove in my Ford Festiva with Horatio Sands. The radio was broke in my car.
Oh, no.
So we had like a boombox with batteries, and we were listening to that.
That's how you listen to music.
And we got snowed out in Pecos, Texas.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize it snowed in Texas.
Apparently it does, because there was a blizzard.
Dang.
And we had to pull over, and we stayed, I think it was the only real stop that we took. The rest we were just like, switching off driving.
Gotcha.
And we pulled over in Pecos, Texas for a day and watched like Oprah or whatever was on TV.
Nice. So did you come out to LA like with a job in hand, or did you
I did
come
not.
Oh wow, brave. Yeah.
What I knew was I needed to be out here for pilot season because I had just been working on a TV show, and at that point there was no internet, so you had to like send tapes out.
Oh wow.
And sometimes they'd already cast it by the time they sent a tape out. So I knew I had to be in LA. And but the interesting thing was, I had done an industrial in Chicago, which was all I had for a reel to submit for the Dana Carvey Show. They were directing a commercial out here, the same director, and as I was driving out, I got a call saying, "Hey, we got an audition for you." So before I arrived in LA, I already had an audition set up.
Awesome! That's what you wanted. You want to come in with momentum. Yeah. That's great. And then I'm sure Philip Morris. It's not Philip Morris, right?
William
It's the other
Morris.
one. William Morris. Wow, I'm really failing here. So I'm sure William Morris works on the both sides of the coast, right? So
works is a relative term. They're more interested in people they've signed out here. So they were representing me, but they weren't sending me out a heck of a lot. Since then, I've been with the same agency. It's a smaller agency, and
you've been
they've
boutiquing
gotten
it up.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your activities these days. Like, what do you have to do?
Well, these days, I'm not in a regularly running show, although I've got a show coming up at the Whitefire Theater called Hollywood Shorts, which is just an evening full of one acts, and I'm interested in doing that. I'm also working on a short form content sketch show. It's kind of like a live action Robot Chicken, only with a lot less parody involved in it. So it's sketch is going to be kind of all over the place, and we're shooting that now.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then I sit in on shows whenever I can. Like I was one of the original members of Opening Night, the improvised musical. So a lot of times, if they got somebody out, or if
When
they
did
got
you
two
start
shows on the
singing?
same night. I started singing as a kid.
Really?
My mom and dad used to talk about how I would come home from school and I would have already memorized whatever song we had sung in music class that day.
That's so great. Yeah.
And so I was in choir, and I was in choir in high school and college, and joined a men's music fraternity called Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia.
Wait, there's a fraternity for musics?
Oh yeah,
for musics? Stop! It's been a long day. I can't speak the English. So wait, wow, that's so great. I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I know a cappella groups exist at colleges, but I didn't know there's a Greek system for it too.
Oh yeah. And it's less of when you think of the Greek system and all the craziness that goes on there. Although there is a social component to it, it's primarily a professional fraternity.
Okay.
But we would go through a semester pledging period, and there were things that we had to do.
Did you rush it?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! Did they haze you? How did they haze you?
Well, it's a national fraternity, and we can't talk about these things.
Really, you can't say anything?
Let's just say to this day, hazing is not allowed.
Okay. Did they initiate
But I'll say this.
you?
Here's some things that we had to do.
Exclusive.
There was a big tower that we would gather and sing under.
Yeah.
And every day after dinner, we would have to sing whatever new song we had learned.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the things the pledges did. But also under that tower, you would have to walk under it and sing part of our, kind of theme song.
Yeah.
Hail Sinfonia, which goes, Hail Sinfonia, come brothers, hail, may Phi Mu Alpha ever reign. And by the time you were on the other end of the tower, you were done singing. And then you'd have to walk through the conservatory, go up, come up from the downstairs entrance, and then walk to the other end of campus, go through the band room to get to the other side of campus. So anytime you crossed campus, you had to use that route.
Okay.
And you had to sing that. And of course you had to learn all the information of all the members and the history of the fraternity and things like that. So,
gotcha.
but there wasn't any chug, chug, chug sort of hazing.
Have you ever done a cooking show?
No, but I would love to. I love to cook.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should do like a YouTube cooking show.
I think I might.
What would you cook? What kind of things do you like
I would
to
love
cook?
to barbecue, so maybe I just do some grilled chicken, some citrus grilled chicken. A lot of other grilled vegetables. That would be cool.
I like vegetables.
Also, I like to cook. I like breakfasts. I love making omelets of any kind.
Breakfast.
Yes. And pancakes.
Nice.
I use my mom's pancake recipe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is there?
Which is actually my
special
Aunt
in it?
Donna's pancake recipe.
Oh.
No, well, you can add things to it. You can add chocolate chips or blueberries if you want. But we always went.
The best.
Boom. We just liked it
Plain.
the way it was, and it was. You can make buttermilk pancakes, but we would usually make sour milk pancakes, which you would make sour milk by taking a cup of milk and adding a teaspoon of vinegar to it.
Really?
Or a tablespoon of vinegar.
Huh.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
it pretty much makes the same thing as buttermilk. I just found out today, you can take sour milk that's gone bad, and use it for buttermilk pancakes, and it tastes just as good.
That sounds like it could be dangerous.
No,
You don't
it's
get
cooked.
Okay.
It's cooked.
Okay, interesting. That's kind of like, I like all those things where they tell you like, oh yeah, originally toast was because the bread was going bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so interesting to learn these things.
I remember when I was a kid watching something about how during World War I they stopped calling it sauerkraut and started calling it Liberty cabbage.
Yes.
And I always thought that was such a ridiculous idea.
Yeah.
And then early on, when we were doing shows at IO, when we first started up out here, we was at the Stella Adler Theater.
Okay.
And these guys who were taking classes then saw me do a show where I was selling poo on a stick, but it was because of our enemies or something like that. I was calling it Freedom Poo.
Freedom Poo.
And they always knew me as Freedom Poo because we didn't always say our names at the shows, and
I
didn't always hang out after the shows. So they knew me as Freedom Poo. And I was like, isn't that ridiculous that somebody would call something like that? And then
yeah, because that's what they know.
maybe 8 years later, less than that, probably less than that, about 5 or 6 years later, Freedom Fries. Our Congress called it Freedom Fries. A nation we weren't even at war with, a nation that helped us found our own nation.
But they were against that war in Iraq.
Yep.
Traitors. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they were traitors.
But they're from Belgium anyway, right?
I think so. Pommes frites.
Go to Belgium, they'll tell you that.
Yep.
Yep. So now that we've discussed all the history of foods,
You really got me thinking about A, getting food after this, and B, starting a cooking show. And then
I really want you to. I really want you to start a cooking show. I think that'd be great. I'll be like your #1 subscriber, and I'll leave a comment on everything.
I've got 1 subscriber already then.
There you go. I was going to ask if there's anything you wanted to tell the listeners and viewers.
I just want to say thank you all for watching this interview, for one thing, because it's been really nice of you. People in LA or elsewhere, if they're interested in taking a free improv class, they can go to www.theimprovtrick.com. And if they want to just follow me and keep in touch, stay friends, at Bill Chott on Twitter, Chott.
Well, you jumped to plugs.
Oh, yeah.
That's the LA lifestyle, is it not?
Yeah, you kind of have to.
I guess so. Oh, man. So then you mentioned, though, that you do magic.
Oh, yes, I do magic, yeah.
Yeah. Could you do a trick for me?
Can I do a trick for you? So, here we have a house spoon. Right? Take that. And here's what I want you to do is concentrate on either the bowl of the spoon or the stem of the spoon. Let me know which.
The bowl.
Okay, so keep a good eye on the bowl.
What? Is this real? Wait, what?
You're seeing it happen right in front of you.
I'm seeing it happen. What?
Right there. Go ahead, take a look at it.
This is actually, it won't go. See, I'm pulling, what? This is black magic.
It is.
That's amazing.
Black magic matters.
It does.
So, here we have a piece of rope. You just saw me cut it.
I did, yeah.
It's from a regular thing of rope.
It is. This is a real rope, guys. Boom. I pulled it.
Okay, great. So, what we're going to do is, you're going to tell me to stop somewhere around the middle of the rope. Okay, so we'll start off with that. Go ahead and say stop.
Stop.
Right there. Oops. Right there?
Yeah.
I can go further. I can go up if you want. You're good with that?
I don't know what we're doing.
You want to change your mind?
What are we doing?
You're happy with the mind you have.
I'm really like my mind, but I don't like my mind, actually.
We're going to cut it right where you said to.
All right, good. So I cut it?
Yeah, sometimes you need like 2 hands on that one.
There we go.
Okay, so you've cut it into 2 different pieces of rope.
I have.
Okay. You visibly did that yourself.
I did.
And now we're going to join it back into one single piece of rope. Can you believe it?
No.
All right,
I don't believe it at all. I'm watching.
All right. So wave that magical scissors over the rope.
Magical scissors.
Say the magic words, which are Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Now watch this. Da 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 da. You're not impressed?
Well, you tied it. I thought you were just gonna make it join and become one.
Oh, so you don't like the knot being there?
Okay. Are you gonna change it?
I just take the knot.
What the heck?
And pull it off the rope, then you have one single rope, just like you wanted.
Did you do that?
And you can keep that as a souvenir.
What? How'd you do it?
Magic.
How'd you do it? Dude, how'd you get into this?
I started when I was a kid. I was 5 years old, and of course, you know, both my grandfathers used to do magic tricks for me.
Yeah.
They each had their own repertoire. And we were on a vacation one time, and there was a magic shop in the city we were passing through. And this guy did the cups and balls routine. Have you ever seen somebody do that?
Okay, yeah, you have to guess where the ball is,
And I was completely flummoxed. And I was like, I need to learn how to do this. So I went and studied that, and then I went and did that for my grandfathers, and they're like, yeah, that's good, but let me show you another one. So then by doing that, I learned other tricks that they knew. And then, so my parents
So is this a family trick?
No, that was one I picked up in a book. After a while, probably we spent too much money on magic kits and tricks when I was a kid. Because here's what I would tell anybody looking to get into magic. And I just turned my neighbor on to some magic.
Really?
He came and saw me perform at the Magic Castle. And he was like...
What's the Magic Castle?
Oh. Next time you make a trip out here, let me know, and I'll be able to try to get you. Hopefully, we'll be able to get you some passes.
Dude.
But it's an exclusive club just for magicians and their guests.
Really?
And yeah, so it's kind of an intimidating place to perform as a magician.
Yeah, it's all insiders. Yeah.
But so my neighbor started watching. He was like, "Oh, I want to do all this." I was like, you know, save yourself some money. Here's a magic book. I gave him one of mine to borrow for a while. And he's using that. And he's like, you know, just with a deck of cards and a couple rubber bands and stuff like that. He's doing tricks and enjoying them himself and sharing them with friends.
Awesome.
So
now I've always been not so good with my hands and crafts and like subtleties and stuff. So for me, is there any hope?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like I'm not good with keep that covered. Don't,
There's-
you know.
There's tricks for every level of ability. There's tricks that you don't even need to use your hands for that happen in somebody else's hands.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to check.
Yes.
You get me excited.
Good.
That's so cool. That is just so awesome.
Okay.
All right. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing all this.
Thank
you
you
are
for
so
coming.
cool, and thank you for inviting me into your lovely house here in Pasadena.
My
and
pleasure.
do we shake?
Yes.